Hey guys, it's Techno Geek here, back with our second video on the channel, and today we're going to be making a video about the Pocophone F1 made by Xiaomi. Now the Pocophone has been getting a lot of news coverage for one main reason, and that is because the Pocophone F1 has a Snapdragon 845, 6GB of RAM, a 4000 mAh battery, and offer a starting price of $300 US. But before we start, I'd like to remind you guys to like, subscribe and comment on the video what type of tech you think we should cover next. The Pocophone has a screen size 6.18 inches and a brightness of up to 500 nits, meaning quite a decent screen for a phone that's only $300. The Pocophone has a Qualcomm Snapdragon 845 with liquid cooling technology, 6GB of RAM and a base version 2GB, but that can be put to 256GB with expandable storage. It also has a 4000 mAh battery, which is amazing for a phone with a price tag of only $300. Now this phone confuses people as it has a lot of flagship features. It has some features that some flagships don't even have, and it's only $300 when people are buying like the Note 9 for example for up to $1,000. So it confuses people a bit. I think most of us will remember when OnePlus with the 5T as a budget company that sold budget phones, they tried to pack every single flagship feature into a phone that wasn't as much as flagships, and OnePlus has kind of diverted for that with their OnePlus 6, which is a lot more expensive than the OnePlus 5. And it's quite obvious this is what Xiaomi is trying to do with the Pocophone F1. They are doing the phone with so much flagship features with only such a small price tag. They can afford to do this as they have previously sold phones, so they already have the infrastructure to sell a phone like this, and it's amazing. And as I said before, Pocophone does stuff that most flagships don't have, like the fact that it has a headphone jack, which is absolutely brilliant because not much phones do that these days. And I'd just like to know that the Pocophone is quite different from other phones. Phones are going with the shiny back, just like the OnePlus is showing here, and compared to it, you could say that it's big, which isn't necessarily a bad thing as it is a lot more durable, and some people like it better that way. But guys, I think I would like to conclude this video by saying that Xiaomi is doing something that not much companies can do. They are making a flagship phone and selling it for $300, and they're showing that technology is changing and you're getting much more for a cheaper price, and that is the way that phones are going. Companies like Apple and Samsung are soon going to learn that, as the Pocophone is becoming a threat to them, and one day, you never know, it could, take their spot on the #1 list of brands. And yes, I do think the phone is a good phone and you should go and get it if you're in the market for a cheap, good phone, as that is what it is. But before I end off the video, I'd like to remind you to like, subscribe and comment on the video what type of tech we should cover next. That's it.